Real Madrid was once the symbol of control. They control the ball, dictate the tempo, and command the game. That golden era was built upon the legendary trio: Modric, Kroos, Casemiro. But time moved on. The conductor stepped back, and a new generation emerged. Vinicius Jr., once marked for having no football IQ, is now for irreplaceable spark of Real. Kylian Mbappé, the biggest signing in Madrid transfer history, is now the piece reshaped the entire system. This combination isn't just about highlight reels. It's redefining the way Real Madrid play football. The question is, are they building a new galactical empire, more dangerous than ever before? There was a time when Real Madrid was the master of calm. They didn't just win, they controlled every part of the game. Under Zidane and Ancelotti's earlier spell, Real Madrid played like a team that never panicked. They passed the ball around, slowed the game down when needed, and wait patiently for their moment. And at the heart of it all was their legendary midfield: Luka Modric, Toni Kroos, and Casemiro. They weren't flashy, they were efficient. Modric stand between defenders, Kroos dictated the rhythm with his point passes, and Casemiro swept everything up behind them. They gave Real Madrid a kind of quiet confidence that few teams in Europe could match. Game didn't feel like battle, they feel like performances. In that system, Cristiano Ronaldo was a finisher, Benzema linked play, often doing the invisible work that allowed others to shine. Everything ran smoothly, and most of the time, Real Madrid were in full control. But things changed. Casemiro left, Kroos and Modric retired, and slowly that control faded. The midfield didn't dominate quite like it used to. The pace dropped, the team felt less sharp. That's when something new started to rise, something faster, wider, and much more dangerous. Vinicius Jr. wasn't meant to replay anyone, at least not right away. When he first arrived, he was full of talent, full of speed, and full of mistakes. He would beat 3 players and then lose the ball. He has the raw tools, but not the polish. People laughed. They said he didn't know what he was doing, that he was on speed and no brain. But under Ancelotti, Vinicius started to change. His chaos was still there, but now it has to pull. He's learned when to run, when to wait, and when to explode. He turned the biggest weaknesses into the greatest strength. By 2022, he was no longer just exciting. He was Real Madrid's most dangerous weapon. Defenders had no answer for his speed and directness. He didn't need perfect build-up. All he needs was a bit of space, and the rest took care of itself. Real Madrid's attack started running through him. The left wing became the launch pad. Benzema movement made room for him. The midfield supported him, but it was Vinicius who leads the fire. The team's identity began to shift. It was less about slowing the game down, and more about breaking it open, and for a while, that was enough. Then came the biggest move of them all. After years of rumors and waiting, it finally happened. Kylian Mbappé, World Cup winner, former teen, global superstar, signed for Real Madrid. It was the transfer everyone had been talking about. But as soon as the celebration began, a new question popped up. Where does he fit? Mbappé, just like Vinicius, loves playing on the left. It's where he's most dangerous, cutting it on his right foot and exploding toward goal. But that space already belonged to Vinicius. 2 left winger, 1 position. Something has to give. That's when Real Madrid made another big decision. They brought in Xabi Alonso as manager, a former midfield general turned running star on the sidelines. And with him came a new way of thinking. Alonso's job wasn't just to manage superstars, it was to rebuild the system to make them work together. The team didn't need to go back to the old ways. It needed to find something new, something even more powerful. The Real Madrid that Alonso is built doesn't look anything like the ones from 5 years ago. It's faster, more vertical, and less focused on possessions and more focused on damage. With Vinicius and Mbappé on the wings, Madrid didn't need to wait. They can turn any mistake into a goal, any turnover into a nightmare. If the opponent isn't perfectly set, they are done. Bellingham, playing just behind them, connects everything. He's not only scoring goal, he's also linking midfield to attack, pressing from the front, and adjusting based on what the game needs. The midfield is younger, stronger and more aggressive now. Players like Tchouaméni, Camavinga and Valverde bring energy and power. They are not about holding on to the ball, they are about winning it back and pushing forward fast. And behind them, there's talk of building a backline that's not only solid but smart. With someone like Trent Alexander-Arnold possibly arriving, Madrid could have a right back who plays like a midfielder, adding creativity from deep while freeing up Mbappé to run inside. The team is turning into a machine, not built to control the game, but to break it. Of course, with great powers comes great complexity. Can Vinicius and Mbappé truly share the spotlight? So far, both have been the star of their own shows, but now they are the core stars, and one of them may have to sacrifice something. And what about the defense? If Vinicius and Mbappé stay high, who is checking back? If the press doesn't work, will they be exposed on the counter? Playing such a high line and so many forward-minded players leave gaps, and good team will punish that. Then there's midfield balance. With Modric and Kroos controlling the rhythm, the teams need younger players to step up and grow fast. One bad pass or missed puck hole could mean disaster against top opposition. Real Madrid also face the challenge of squad depth. They've got a world season ahead, Champions League, La Liga, and possibly a Copa del Rey. That means rotation will be key. Players like Arda Güler, Brahim Diaz, and Gonzalo Garcia will need to be more than just options. They will have to deliver when it counts. Xabi Alonso will need to manage all of this, not just tactics, but personality, pressures, and expectations. He's building a team full of stars. But to succeed, it has to play like a team. So here we are. Real Madrid is no longer the patient, passing team of old. They are the new kind of threat, one that doesn't wait to strike. Vinicius brings chaos, Mbappé brings killer instinct, Bellingham brings balance, and Alonso brings vision. This team may not dominate possessions, they may not look elegant for 90 minutes, but they can beat you in 9 seconds, from one end of the pitch to the others. If they click, if they stay healthy, and if the egos stay in the check, this Real Madrid could become something Europe hasn't seen before. Not just a team, they are storm. And when that storm arrives, it won't matter how well you defend or how carefully you prepare, because they won't wait for you to make a mistake. They will force it, and then they will finish you.